That noise you hear in the background is not the owl that Rusty Scarborough from the Walter B. Jacobs Memorial Nature Park brought with him today.
Me and the owl are communicating.
You and the owl, no.
We are. We have a thing.
You're making owl noises.
I am.
I'm not sure the owl, what is the owl thinking right now when he hears Aaron making those noises?
Rusty, does he think I'm nuts?
I think that's the majority of the room, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Rusty,
this interview is off to a great start.
This is a male owl?
It is. This is a male great horned owl.
Great horned owl. How old is he?
We don't know. This bird came into captivity as an injured bird, and it was already an adult.
Okay.
We've probably had this one for 4 or 5 years. I don't recall exactly. But it is a male great horned owl. In the birds of prey, the females are 1/3 larger than the males.
It's time for the 14th annual Owl Night at the Walter B. Jacobs Nature Park in Blanchard.
Right.
Correct? And that's this Saturday beginning at 5 p.m., runs through 9 o'clock. How many owls do you have?
We will have 4, our native, most common 4 species out on the trail with handlers, and people can walk the trails and really just be up as close as we are right now.
Okay, so why are owls so cool?
Well, owls have a lot of specializations in the way that they hunt. Since they hunt in the dark, they have very large eyes, and they have specialized feathers that allows them silent flight. And actually, there's just a really lot of things that we're going to do. At each owl site, we're going to have the 4 around the trail, and each one of those sites will specialize in one of the adaptations. So one will talk about camouflage, one will talk about hearing, one will talk about silent flight. One will talk about sight.
That GIF, the GIF on Facebook where the owl is on the fence and it starts to take off and just face plants into the snow. That doesn't happen very often. They're better than that.
Well, I'm not sure which one that is, but if it's a great gray owl, they live far up north in the snow-covered areas, and they actually hunt strictly by hearing. They have enormous facial disc, which funnels the sound waves into their ears. And they hear mice running in snow tunnels, and they crash through the snow.
So that probably is what that is.
Yeah, it's probably grabbing a mouse out of the snow.
Does he have a name?
We don't name any of our animals at the park.
Okay.
I don't want them to sound like they're pets because they're just wild animals that can't go back to the wild because of their injuries.
When you got him out of his box, it comes in a black box. It's enclosed, so light doesn't get him, I guess. He was a little bit nervous. He was spreading the wings out, like trying to take. But he's calmed down now.
Yeah, sometimes the transition in and out of the box is a little nerve-wracking for them. But once they're out and kind of calm down, so just depends on the surroundings.
His head rotates. What is it? Not 360 degrees, but about 200 and what did you say?
280 to 300.
Like Erin's when her sons are in the back seat.
Right. Well, mammals have 7 bones in their neck, so even giraffes, they just are big bones. But birds have 12, so we can turn our heads about even with our shoulder. They can go past that shoulder and look over the other shoulder.
Now, you can't, when kids come to the park this Saturday, they're not going to be able to hold the owl or touch them, correct? Correct. Because they're not.
Did he just make a noise? I think
that might have been me. I don't know.
Did you have your honey bun yet?
But you have on a protective glove, and you have him kind of on a leash, I guess we'd call it.
Yeah, we have cuffs and jesses on their ankles, which is one of the strongest part of a bird of prey is their legs. So we have cuffs and jesses on their legs and then a leash on them. And they can come up close and observe the owls and take photos, but they can't touch or pet or hold.
So when how fast do they fly? Are they fast?
They're not known for their speed. They're more of a stealth hunter.
Really?
Right. And so like on the feathers, they have like a little fringe on the leading edge. So it looks like a little microscopic comb, and that breaks up the air as they pass through the wind.
So they're pretty quiet that way, like a seal or something like that. And so I would assume when they catch something, they rip it apart is how.
Well, they have these very powerful talons that they have an extremely strong grip. So even if the talons don't puncture an internal organ to kill them, they can hold so tightly that the animal can't breathe and blood can't flow.
Are the owls out there at the park year round? You have them out there?
Yeah,
and how are they housed?
We have an aviary, and so they, I heard on the radio a few days ago that you were trying to go to our local things to see.
Attractions,
and
yes.
so we've had this nice aviary with birds of prey for about 8 years now. So maybe
Boy,
that
it's
was
been
one
a
of the places
while,
that you
yeah.
should.
So they eat mice, little rodents. They just little skunks you had mentioned because they don't smell very well
Yeah, well, we have like
or good. Sorry.
each owl eats a different type of animal. So great horned owls eat larger rodents mostly. So they're going to eat rats and mice and squirrels and rabbits. They do eat skunks. They are one of the major predators of skunks. But barred owls live in wet areas, and they usually eat reptiles and amphibians. So
Now
a lot of snakes and frogs.
mentioned their skill at camouflage. What eats owls, and who do they need to hide from, and how do they camouflage themselves?
Bigger owls.
Really? So it's a cannibalistic species.
Well, not specifically about great horns eating great horns, but great horns will eat eastern screech owls or barred owls. So in the bird of prey world, it's pretty much you don't have anybody that preys upon you unless it's a bigger raptor.
We've always heard as a kid that owls sleep all day and they're up at night. Is that a myth?
Well, depending on the owl, if they have yellow eyes, we largely say that they are crepuscular. So they're active.
Whoa. Ow, that hurt.
Yeah. So they're active at dawn and dusk. So as the
Okay.
sun is rising or setting. If they
that
have
doesn't
dark
explain Aaron's yellow eyes. But please continue.
And if they have dark eyes, like the barred owl or the barn owl, they're largely nocturnal at nighttime. So
Okay.
they're inactive and resting during the day, and then they're out actively
He
hunting
weighs
at night.
what, maybe 8 pounds, 10 pounds, maybe?
No, a really large female might go close to 3. This bird's probably around 2.
Since you mentioned that,
That's a female. No, that's a male, right?
Right.
how do they have babies?
They lay eggs.
What,
Okay.
What on earth?
They're egg layers. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
So-
know. I didn't know that. I mean, do
have
they?
virtually a round egg? They don't have
Ah.
really a tapered egg like
Okay.
chicken eggs. So a great horned owl will lay about 3 eggs, and we usually see 2 or 3 survive.
So run us down
Can
once
I ask
again.
him one more dumb question?
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Al's going crazy. Do they?
Well,
do they?
He objected to your question about the eggs.
He's not listening.
How
He
do
didn't want to
owls
hear that.
do it.
That's what I want to know. Do they have?
What? What?
Do owls mate? Do they have a mating season? And
Yes, and it's now. They're probably already on eggs right now. And,
oh, he wants me. Is that why he's getting crazy?
and
He wants
they
all of that.
they do mate just like other birds. They put their cloacas together and
Whoa, cloacas.
cloacas.
Yeah.
Okay.
You thought that was a beach in Hawaii.
Do I
You
have a
didn't do it.
cloaca?
Yeah.
You do not.
I do not have a cloaca. Does Matt have a cloaca?
He does not.
Okay. Does he want one?
I couldn't answer that question.
Can he pay for one on Friday? Rusty Scarborough, Walter Jacobs Memorial Nature
This
Park, Big
Saturday.
Owl Palooza. Is what time again, please?
It's 5 o'clock until 9 o'clock. Walter Jacobs Memorial Nature Park. It's up in the Blanchard area.
Great
It
to
is
see
a
you as
beautiful
always.
place.
Thank you.
Thank you.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. So
cloaca.
Grayson Butcher will be. Stop it. Why don't you Google that and you'll stop? Okay.
No, then I'll get in trouble with the IT.
Yeah. Where was I? Oh,